G'day thrill seekers, welcome to Tabletop Nights Round Table. I'm Greg, this is Caleb. We've got a massive show for you tonight. We're going to cram it full of everything, board games, tabletop card games, special feature about Joan of Arc. What else? We're going to get to meet Caleb and have a bit of a chat about who he is and how he got involved with the group. But first of all, we're going to do a little bit of housework. We're going to talk about how you can get in touch with us when you love our stuff, how much you want to be involved with. We've got on Twitter, our handle is @TTK Team. We've got Tabletop Nights on Facebook. We've got, what else was I supposed to say, Caleb? Good comeback.
As far as social media, yeah. I think that was everything.
Victor, how are we going?
Yeah, good.
Oh, good start. Okay,
you
cool.
You can always subscribe right now as well on YouTube.
Yes, subscribe. Get on board. Look, we're also going to talk about some of your comments at the end of the show. Thanks for all the stuff that's been coming in. It's been fantastic. We do have a new question for this week, and that's going to be, what's the worst game you've ever played and why? Let us know, because I know I've played some shocking stuff over the years. And Caleb, yourself?
I don't think I've played anything that I would classify as outright bad. There have been games that I've played that I haven't liked.
Okay, well, we don't need to hear from you then. So you let us know which ones are out there, and we'll get into that very shortly. So also, we've got our brand new merch stuff on sale coming up from when this video comes out, Victor. Yep. The code is 15April19. So there will be a link down here somewhere. If you're on SoundCloud, sorry. Go and look at YouTube and watch the whole video as well, because we need the time. I'm wearing some of it now. This is a cool new baseball shirt. I think it looks very sexy. What do you reckon?
Oh, very sexy.
Great. So there you go. Stay tuned, and we're going to get stuck straight into it. So Caleb, my friend.
Yes, Greg.
Victor, can we get some mood lighting for this little bit? I'm looking for something a bit sultry and a bit.
Oh, hello.
Nice.
There we go.
Okay. So I've been with this group for a few weeks now, and I haven't run into you before. We know each other for about 12 minutes now?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So tell us a bit about how you got involved with Tabletop Nights.
Pretty much I subscribe to I think it's just the Melbourne group on Board Game Geek, and I saw Victor put up a post on there asking if anyone was interested in the Frankston area, and I went, you know what, Frankston is finally actually close by. A lot of the time I'll see them and people are like, oh, do you want to play games in Broadmeadows or something? And that's too far away. So yeah, I just shot him a message and went, yeah, I'm interested. And it was pretty easy since then. So I've come down and played a few games since, and
cool.
It's the first time here, and hopefully I'll be playing some more games. Hopefully we'll actually be able to play a game together at some point.
Oh, I'm hanging out
doubt.
for it. Yeah. Well, look, we're going to have heaps of content coming out. We are going to just pump stuff out soon, but it's going to be good quality. And you need to tell us what you like, guys, and gal. I think we've got one female viewer now.
Yeah, it's confirmed that we had a female viewer.
Great. Woo! High fives all around. So that's great. We know where you've come from now. How many games do you own, you reckon?
I would say I'll lowball it and say 30. It's 30? Probably closer to 50.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hard to keep track because some of them are small. But yeah, let's say 30 to 50.
Okay, cool. Look, we're going to we're going to publish my list on Facebook very shortly. And it'd be good if people can actually go through it and have a bit of a squiz and see what they think about some of my selections.
Okay.
And perhaps maybe pick out some. I'd like to look at maybe some of the really old classics that people have forgotten about or haven't seen for a long time.
I'm very much in the cult of the new board game realm. Yeah. I probably only came into this hobby 10 years ago maybe. Right. And I've always been fairly modern. I think probably the oldest classic sort of game that I have would be Pandemic or Ticket to Ride or something like that.
That's a classic. I can understand Ticket to Ride, but
yes,
Pandemic just rings in my ear.
Yeah, well, that's why I kind of put Ticket to Ride in there just because it is a bit more
enough.
Traditional in that sense.
Yeah.
But in terms of older games, I've missed a lot. And so while I have quite a few newer games. Yeah, and I mean, I would be interested in seeing your list as well. And that way, if we do publish any of these lists, you guys will be able to tell us, hey, we want to see you play this game. And if we get a lot of feedback for one particular, it'll give us some ideas, which is always nice.
Oh. And I suppose, how did you first get into it though? Was it a family thing, or did you just?
Well, our family were did enjoy playing games. We played Sequence a lot. Mum did get Ticket to Ride quite early, and we played that a lot as a family. So that was definitely my gateway game.
Okay.
As it's called. But then after that, I think like my friends at high school, we'd play like Risk or Catan. At one point, I picked up the Game of Thrones board game from Fantasy Flight Games.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And that was definitely the first like heavy game that I picked up, and we played that a lot.
Yeah, look, we did play that a fair bit at a game group I was at, and I really enjoyed that. Let's form a little alliance, and then I'm going to backstab you. I love games like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and again, in that sense of like, do I trust this person or not? Probably the next game after that I got was maybe Dead of Winter.
Okay, yep.
Very semi-co-op zombie survival game, which has also seen a lot of play. And
that's one of the Crossroads ones, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
First Crossroads game. And yeah, that's very good.
Cool. All right. Well, look, I suppose Game of Thrones is probably a good example of, different warring factions and things like that coming together. So I know last week we talked about Joan of Arc a little bit, and I thought this week we might delve into that. I'm mega excited about it. I've got, I think I've spent $780. Misses don't watch this.
Wow.
On that. So I've put down for everything.
Yeah, wow.
And some of you might have seen Leo from Mythic Games showing off some of that stuff.
I watched some of those videos last night, and there's an insane amount of things. There's a dragon in it that has no right being in a board game at that size. I think the most expensive game that I've backed on Kickstarter was Batman, the Gotham City Chronicles.
Is that the one that's like Conan, or is that a different one?
Yes,
Okay.
It's the same mechanics as
Yeah.
Conan. I think a bit different, but more or less the same.
It has that river of gems, whatever.
Yes,
powers
yeah,
and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And because that was Kickstarter exclusive and I love Batman, I pretty much went all in. I think there was maybe one add-on that I didn't get, but otherwise I got everything, and that was about 400 and something.
That's outrageous. Outrageous. No, that's cool. So you watched some of the Joan of Arc stuff?
Yeah, I know pretty much nothing about Joan of Arc. I watched the Kickstarter video, which had some very cool animated sequences of the minis running around and fighting. But I got to the end of it and I was like, that was cool. I have no idea how this game plays. It's something about like different types of resources or abilities, but otherwise, I wasn't that sure on much of it. So please elaborate.
Well, I think they're actually still tweaking the rules now.
When's it coming?
Oh, look, it's just about on its way. Maybe the rules are finished now, but I do know that obviously they have received production copies of all the miniatures and boxes and things. So I might be absolutely wrong about the rules bit. I research a lot of games, so sometimes they muddle. I got Old Timers. You may have heard of that. But I like the idea of you sort of have there's a round card at the start which says this is the resources or the ones that you can choose from. I think they call it the river, where you can say, do you want red cubes, which do your actions, and do you want cavalry cubes, which is the green, or do you want blue, which is the interrupt? So you're actually making some strategic choices at the start, and then you play it on your different cards and move your bits around. But the bit I do like though is the fact that they've got different modes, different numbers of players. They've even got there's even solo missions there. So you've got and the way each hex is broken up into 1, 2, or 3 different leagues, I think they call them.
I think that's right, yeah.
But some of these little scenarios, it's just going to be trying to find the sword or trying to get. I think one of them's trying to get the woman to this area where she can give birth, and then the baby can rise to heaven while the archangels are coming down to try and protect her, and the beast comes in and goes. But
Naturally,
it's insane stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely insane.
It does sound pretty cool though.
It does sound cool, but I think I said this last week. I'm almost worried that there might be too much content. Do you know where you go? Okay, I'm overwhelmed. Like Gloom, I think I said it about Gloomhaven. I felt a little bit overwhelmed that I may never see the whole game.
Well, I started a campaign of Gloomhaven with some friends. One of them owns the copy, and we played, I think, about 4 missions, and unfortunately haven't played for quite some time. And it's a great game, but the content for Gloomhaven, I feel, it was at least contained to one box.
Yep.
Now, the box was ginormous. It's huge, but like I'll see games like Joan of Arc has like 6 huge boxes or something. There's one that's like, I think it was, I want to say Fire Team 0 or something.
Right, yep.
I don't actually know anything about the game. I just remember seeing like pictures of like these piles of boxes, and like even my Batman game, I'm getting the base game, which is 2 individual boxes.
Yep.
And then I'm getting 2 expansions. No, I'm getting 3 expansions, and that's 5 boxes, and that's the most that I've ever received. And like more than that seems like just too much. And yeah, like it's always a difficult thing of like what is actually worth having and what will contribute versus what will actually muddy the waters by throwing it in. Or do I keep the expansion separate, play the base game, then play the base game plus 1 expansion, and then take that expansion out and add a different one in?
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah, look, I think at least in Gloomhaven, you basically had the whole experience there, and you might get the odd envelope to introduce, you retire your characters and things like that. But I definitely have a worry. I hate it when I get a board game and it's got 15 variants in the back. And of course, they're trying to do it to give you replayability. But I go, just give me the core game at its best. Don't necessarily give me, another 30 ways that I have to try and figure out which one's going to work the best.
Yeah.
I find that a bit frustrating.
Particularly when like the different ways are very different mechanically.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Joan of Arc it can either be 1v1 or 2v2, is that right?
No, it says 1 to 4 players is my understanding.
Okay.
So I think you can have 2v2. But there are scenarios specifically, there's solo ones, there's a battle mode where it might just be the 2 of you doing X, and you can actually build your own armies and things like that.
Oh, okay.
And there'll be other ones where it's 3 players, and then again also others where it might be the 4. I don't know if they're all 4 on 4 or 2 on 2, but it doesn't look like they've cobbled it together and said, it's a 2 to 6 player game. But you just control
that's
that
kind
side of the board. So.
That's always difficult when you try and balance, like when they try and add in extra players just to appease sort of things. Because I know a lot of Kickstarters get requests when a game is really big to say, hey, can we get a solo mode? And that sometimes is can be a stretch goal sort of thing. One Kickstarter, a different Kickstarter that was also quite huge. I don't know how much money Joan of Arc made in the end, but Rising Sun made, I think, about 4-point-something million, or like 3.9, close to 4, something like that.
Joan of Arc's in the 2 to 3, maybe 2.5 million, somewhere around there, I think.
Yeah, Rising Sun.
Victor can check the stats for us.
Rising Sun got about 3.9 to just over 4 million or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's US dollars. And I know that there was a lot of clamoring during its campaign of people going, hey, can we get solo mode? But like Cool Mini or Not were pretty consistent in being like, no, this is a negotiation game.
Yeah.
Like you'd lose a big element of it if you do go solo.
It wouldn't be the same game.
Yeah, exactly. Because the whole point of it is to like forge alliances and do battle with other players, and playing it by yourself. Like I understand why people who like don't have groups or can't play with people like would want to be able to get in on it. But at the same time, if you're doing that at the expense of the game experience, it doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah.
But Rising Sun was another huge Kickstarter, and that was a spiritual successor to Blood Rage, which I backed and wasn't big at the time. Like, despite how big the game is now, like it's talked about everywhere. It's like number 1 on some people's like best of games sort of thing. That only got about 900,000, so that didn't even crack a mil. But then the spiritual successor Rising Sun came along, and because it was the spiritual successor to Blood Rage, blew it out of the water.
Look, I suppose I'm just wondering whether I'm going to get sick of Eric Lang games, because he does put out some really good ones, and you invest in them, and you go, like I've got all of the others right? All the expansions,
Yeah.
all the different, lust, wrath, greed, gluttony, the apocalypse pack, all this stuff. And then I go, but the game's not actually that accessible for me, right? Because you need people who are dedicated, because it's not a complex game, but they've got to invest their brains into it a bit.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're hard to get across.
And it's also the danger of those, because in the others, it's like one person controlling the sin and then everyone else fighting them.
That's right.
That's the other thing. I don't know if it's a campaign game or not. Is it campaign, or is it like just single one-off missions one at a time?
No, I think there's normally like about 4 or 5, because you get like a leaflet with each expansion, and you can do those kinds of things.
Yeah, because the problem with like 1v many games is that if one side gets too overpowered, if they win too much, they get all the benefits, and then it just becomes a slaughter. Like I've played Imperial Assault, the Star Wars dungeon crawler, essentially, and that has that issue where if the Imperials keep winning, they keep getting more powerful, and the Rebels don't really get anything, so can't really get any extra abilities, and just get slaughtered.
That's sort of that descent model, isn't it?
Yes.
I think that Imperial Assault.
Yep.
Yeah, look, I found I kind of bought that to play it, and then I thought, oh no, now I've got to paint everything, because I couldn't stand just those grey things in such a great setting and scenario. And of course, Joan of Arc is going to be horrendously difficult. You see the dragon that Leo holds in a couple of the photographs. And I'm thinking, I have to do that now.
That makes sense to me, because that's barely a game thing. Like, that's something that you would paint and like put on display somewhere.
Except
really
it is a
nice.
playable character. It does do stuff.
Insane.
But I mean, you've also got all the because it's it's set in medieval times, right? It's 1333 or whatever, and it's all werewolves and castles, and there's siege engines, and there's freaking, you name it. There's
cavalrymen. And,
I reckon I've got 10 years worth of just painting before I can even play the game. So I'm going to have to put that aside, even with the 3D terrain.
I've never been a painter, and that's fine. I've painted one game.
What was that one?
It was called Project Elite.
That's the one where it's like a time thing, and you're chucking the dice?
Yes, real-time dice throw. You've got 2 minutes to roll the dice as many times as you can, try and kill the aliens. I backed it when it first came out. There was a lot of controversy because people were like, these minis are rubbish. They look like melted candles. Yeah. And they kind of did the first batch that they released. They did them again. It still wasn't great, but I was like, it's like, for a game that's about like hurriedly moving these things around, like, it was fine. And then Cool Mini or Not did a second printing recently. I didn't back that one just because I've still got my copy of it, and like, it's an awesome, like, it is one of my favorite games. It is so much fun.
So Joan of Arc did 2.15 million.
Oh, it's disappointing.
With 9,987 backers, and Rising Sun did 4.2 million with over 31,000 backers.
Yeah.
So gee, we're quite knowledgeable, aren't we?
Yeah,
we were pretty close there.
Why do you guys think Joan of Arc was so popular? What about that game do you think would draw people?
To me, I personally think it's the theme. I think you've got this medieval setting where, at the time, people had these fantastical ideas. You know, if you had a blood red moon, it would be like, oh, hang on, we've got to go and kill a baby, or we've got to go and slaughter a sheep, or we've got to go and sow the seeds or whatever.
Like, I mean, hopefully, definitely, like, theme and gameplay are a part of it. And the fact that, like, you need resources to do certain actions, but only certain resources are available each round, sounds like a very cool mechanic. And I do like the sound of that. One just big thing that would be a draw for it would just be the miniatures. Like, people love collecting these miniatures and painting them. And if a board game has minis, then they're right there for it.
Yeah.
And I've always tried to, like, not be sucked in by minis, like, actually look for decent gameplay.
I think it's definitely got that.
But then there are some that are like the others, like you said, that don't quite draw you in as much. And like, I didn't back that one. And I think Blood Rage and Rising Sun are the only Eric Lang games that I have. Okay. A friend has The Godfather, but I haven't gotten around to playing it. Yeah, it sounds fun.
Well, it's okay. It's got a Euro feel to it because it's kind of worker placement.
Yeah,
basically. But the theme's really good, and you get to chuck bodies in the river, so that's always good.
Yeah, fun.
I think what else was I going to say? Just with the Joan of Arc, the fact that it's a 15mm scale, I think, is what it is. I like, because you've got quite small people. Of course, then when you put the beast or the dragon on the board, it's this massive thing.
Well, see, I just looked at that dragon and I was like, well, as soon as that comes out, surely everyone dies. I mean, like, I don't know I don't know the mechanics of the game or how it works, so it might not. But I just look at it and I'm like, well, it just feels like this dragon's just going to eat them all.
Well, look, you've got dice, so there's always a chance.
Oh, okay, there's an element of randomness there.
I think they can do like massive attacks, which is a British group, I think, isn't it? Massive Attack. Can you please Google that? Thanks, Victor. That's important news. But you can sort of do area attacks, and then you can do sort of just a big pounce in one particular spot, or you can tackle. I think, for example, if there's troops, and troops, if you pick that I'm going to attack troops, you almost hit those 3 areas at once, but it's not a big attack. It's more spread out.
Okay, that's fair.
Those kinds of things.
Yep.
It is British, yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know the song. You know that song, that Massive Attack song? Sure. Cool. See what you learned on this program? It's fantastic. So again, I think the rules must be done because it's definitely not far away.
Because I don't think I've seen any games that are the 15 mil, at least not recently. Normally it's I think 32 or 26, something in that range. Yeah. It tends to be the standard because then you've got your individual hero pieces sort of thing, and that tends to be the standard. But I do like having thought about it, like the 15mm thing is very cool because you can have like groups on a single piece as opposed to having to have 3 individual minis.
That's it.
Which
is definitely easier for the playing of the game. But it's got 3D terrain. I think even the tiles. The tiles look fantastic.
That looked very cool in the way that it was like you just build the battleground from tiles, which changed the terrain, and then there's like walls, churches, buildings, that sort of thing. It was very really cool. Looked a lot of fun, just to change up how you like move through the battlefield each game. Yeah,
so we'll definitely be doing some unboxing of that as soon as it arrives. So if you haven't backed it yourselves, you can just look at me and go, Greg, why did you spend all that money on that thing?
So I wasn't here last week, but you guys asked the question, I believe it was, what games you're looking forward to?
Yeah, because obviously Kickstarter is the flavour of the month, right? So
Kickstarter's flavour of the year, flavour of everything.
I love it and I hate it all at once because I see it and I go, it's a little shiny bell, I've got to go and grab something.
Yeah. Well, the problem is like you get so excited about this game for the month that the campaign is going, and then you have to forget about it for 2 years until the game finally turns up. Otherwise, you just get disappointed as it takes months and months to arrive.
That's it. All right. Well, look, you guys have sent us heaps of comments. I think after our first podcast, we had like 3, and one of them was Victor and one of them was me. Now we had about 30. So apologies if we can't get through everyone today, but we will always try and speak to all the comments that come through because we love reading them. There's a couple of people who just need to calm down a little bit because they've just written
essays
of stuff, which we have a good laugh and a good read, and we go, this person knows their games. So
we'll go through and answer those questions.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. So the first comment comes from Rob Lane, and he says, next Kickstarter I'll be backing is Freedom, launching 25th of March. Something a little different, asymmetrical, 2-player historical siege game. That sounds a little Joan of Arc.
Freedom?
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. I'll have to check it out.
I haven't heard of that. Who's the publisher, Victor?
Phalanx is the publisher. He's included it in the comments. He's very helpful. They did U-Boat, Hannibal, and Hamilcar. So you know the production will be stunning. I don't actually know any of those games, and I haven't heard of Freedom, but I'll check it out.
That was I think I responded to that one because I've got Hannibal and Hamilcar.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful game. I just haven't figured out. It hasn't clicked with my brain yet. So I think did that one come from up north, Queensland or something like that? I don't know if we said.
I think so.
Was that? Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
And he also says some games that he's got arriving soon are Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, which is the same group that do the Tiny Epic games, but their first big box. The Batman Gotham City Chronicles, which I've backed and am waiting for, which I think hopefully should, wishful thinking maybe, but hopefully by the end of the month, potentially sometime in May.
I didn't back that one. I wish I had.
So that's exciting. U-Boot, Unbroken, Seventh Continent expansions. And he also says the channel's great. Keep it up. So thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
Beautiful. I can't wait to get U-Boot out in an unboxing. Mind you, I'll probably just sit there and play with it, and you guys will just watch a blank tape running, but that's okay. All right. Over to me.
You can take the next one.
I haven't got my glasses on, so it could be gibberish. So this is from Carlos. Or Morales? I don't know. Please forgive my pronunciation, Carlos. My next Kickstarter arrive is Dead Man's Cabal. And the last one was Hate. Well, we all love hate. Who doesn't love to hate? No, love to love hate. Yeah. Dead Man's Cabal. I've never heard of that one. That sounds freaky.
It sounds something about pirates.
It does kind of.
That's the extent that I could guess about it. Something to do with pirates. Dead Man's Cabal.
Cabal. Because I read a book called Cabal by Clive Barker, I think, about 1,000 years ago. It's kind of like, I think, an evil group that comes together or something.
It's a game about evil pirates, which is pirates.
Well, that's our assumption. So we're going to say it's a game about evil pirates.
Yep.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
All right, Victor will let us know later if we got it wrong.
The next comment comes from Nick Pickle, and he says, a couple of games I'm looking forward to are Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth by Fantasy Flight Games, and Dice Throne Season 3. Really looking forward to the co-op mode for that one.
Co-op mode?
Apparently. I've only played Dice Throne here. I hadn't actually played it before, but I'd seen it on Kickstarter and been interested, but hadn't gotten it. And so Season 3 obviously means they've still got more ideas for the different heroes. Co-op will be interesting as to what you need to achieve through that.
So,
hopefully
Season 3 is coming out this year, the Kickstarter. Yep. I think it's 4 new characters as opposed to like their 6 or 8 that they usually do. But they're adding co-op and a few minis as well.
So does co-op mean 2v2 or does co-op mean against an AI player?
I think it's like 2 people going through like a dungeon. They haven't really released much info. That's cool. Also, Dead Man's Cabal is nothing to do with pirates.
So scratch that.
It's like necromancers, you've conquered death, you're master of all 9 dimensions of space, time, reality.
Ooh.
All that sort of stuff. So,
wow.
Okay. So actual dead men, not dead men tell no tales, dead men.
I'm expecting Hellboy, I think, in the next 5 minutes. I just can't wait for that one to pop through the door. That's going to be awesome.
Board game or movie?
Hellboy, the board game.
There's a board game?
Oh, man. I'm sure they're timing it for the movie, but
was that a Kickstarter or is that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I did not pay attention.
That's probably another several $100s.
Yeah, I missed that one.
They've really drawn on the original comic book style and art, so it just looks amazing.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Okay, what's next?
And I believe the next one is your essay, which we'll go through a bit slowly.
I can read that one, do I?
I can read it if you want, if it's a bit too long.
It's from Matt Jacket. We love Matt Jacket. I think he's commented on just about every video we've ever put out.
Oh, cheers, Matt.
Cheers, Matt. Okay, first of all, thank you for liking my name and including my comments in the video.
No problem. There you go, people.
Yeah, we said the name Matt Jacket was good. So.
Oh, that's right. Because it sounded like, you could have a glitzy sort of glossy jacket or you could have a nice matte jacket. It's a bit classier.
No, it sounds like an FBI agent's name.
Oh, Matt Jacket. Like Max Powers or something like that. Okay. All right, we'll use that. That's better than my description. My question to you guys, what's it say? Why don't we use the badass TTK logo on all our stuff?
The intro.
Yeah, that intro, yeah.
It's an old YouTube myth that people don't want to watch intros. A lot of people click away as soon as they see an intro. So we use it sometimes. We'll include it more.
We could stick it in after my crappy intro or something,
Yeah, I've got to start doing that, doing intros, inserting the introduction. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Yeah, good question. Okay, all right. Well, and here we go. Can we get a full room tour? This is still from Matt Jacket of Greg's board game room. Sounds like having your own board game shop at home. Only if I agree to share. Absolutely, I'll share it. It's my pride and joy. Don't worry about my children. The board game room is my pride and joy. I love it. We're actually shooting something there, hopefully Tuesday next week, Victor. We're going to do a red alert run through. Yep. While we're there, we'll do a little behind the scenes tour, and you can see all the games in their glory. I always walk into the board game shops, Caleb, and I go, I've probably got more than you. And they go, really? And I go, yeah, come over here. I've got that one, that one, that one. And they go, you don't have that one? I go, yeah, but that one's crap. Why would I get that one? So,
Well, I mean, that's a perfectly good argument.
It's a perfectly good argument. Yeah. How do we come up with the name and logo of the channel? Victor?
Oh, God. The name was just, there's already a group in New Zealand. So
we thought we'd copy them. Well, we take everything else from New Zealand, don't we? Russell Crowe, Split Ends.
We thought it would be a good name, tabletop, and we'd just be like, we like medieval theme, so half the board games are medieval theme that we generally play. Not really, but they can be.
Well, I mean, Dice Throne has the little castle dice tower, and Hate is Hate somewhat medieval?
It's evil. Close enough.
Yeah,
Close enough.
Half right.
Close
and the
enough.
logo was just, I don't know.
Cool.
All right. Well, here we go. What is your favourite game? Would like to know this from all three of you.
Ooh.
Favourite game?
Who wants to go first?
So I've probably got one favourite in every genre, whether it be a family party game or so it's really hard to pick one.
All right, well, I'll let you think. I'll go with mine. I think at the moment my favorite game is Spirit Island, which is a cooperative game where you are playing spirits that looking after an island that invaders are trying to overtake. And it's similar to Pandemic in that you're trying to stem these outbreaks of not diseases in Pandemic, but invaders trying to spread into the land and like build buildings and towns and cities. And you've got all these completely unique powers to each spirit. Like you can have a fire one or a lightning or rivers, lava, etc. And the theme on that game is amazing, and just the way that you play. Like that's the game that if I'm playing a game solo, I'll sit down and play that one. And I've probably played that game more by myself than with other people. And it is.
No, that's okay. That's
like
fine,
it's
man.
like I would like to play it with more people, but the problem is it's a big game and it's a bit difficult to explain if you're not ready for it.
Pick me because again, I tried to read through the rules, and there's some elements where you go, okay, it's not hard, but it's different.
I'd happily bring that one along and teach a game of that here.
Well, we're going to be doing live streams 3-4 months away, I think, till we get all the gear. So one of the things we'll do during live streams is learn how to play games together, just super casual.
Okay.
Low, no editing or anything.
What would it take for us to be able to do live streaming, Victor? What sort of support might we need?
We need a way to have cameras be able to run for 2-3 hours. Consistently and also be hooked up to the computer, I guess, in order to live stream. I don't really know.
Yeah, you do, and you need to be able to switch, obviously, live. Yeah.
So we'll do that.
Cool. I'd say Spirit Island's probably my favorite game. The next two would probably be Project Elite and Blood Rage, or maybe Clank. I do enjoy Clank. So there we go. There's a rough top four with a definitive number one.
We only asked for one, so that's fine.
Well, there you go. One. Spirit Island.
Okay. My family favourite party game we have is Telestrations.
Yes, that's good fun.
Like someone came up to me at work the other day and they said, our family gets together and we play Chinese checkers, and I just went,
oh. Like, I mean, if that's what they enjoy, then that's great. But
I said, do you like drawing? Do you like laughing? Yes, Telestrations. Go with that. So that's that one.
Yeah.
Our current card family favourite is Keyforge.
Oh, yeah.
So my sons have bought all the decks out of the local game shop.
Okay.
They've literally had to go and source more.
I've only bought the base game. Yep. So I've got the 2 intro decks, which I haven't even touched, and 2 random decks. But I want to get more, but I've only just played the one. But it is a lot of fun and just very cool in that every deck is unique.
Yeah, and what I like about it is if someone gets all these characters out or artifacts out, it doesn't mean you've lost the game. Like in Magic, sometimes you go, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed, I might as well just throw in the towel. As long as you're collecting an amber, you're going, oh, I'm still in the game, thank God for that.
Yeah.
And just finally, I suppose the hardcore one I've mentioned a few times, which is Awakened Realms, is Nemesis. We love playing Nemesis.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I've backed Nemesis,
Yep.
but I got the single wave shipping.
Single wave.
So I'm still waiting for when they finish up with the expansion and the second ship and everything, and then send it.
Okay.
So I'm still waiting. Now I did that because it was in euros, so it was very expensive to both back the game and ship it, but also was in the process of moving. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to get to play, so it doesn't matter if I've got it or not. It's easier to just...
Don't you hate it when life gets in the way?
My favourite board game is Boggle, No. Gloomhaven is my favorite game.
Yeah?
Of all time. I love Gloomhaven.
Yeah, it's good.
Same with you. I played it more by myself than
Oh,
with
yeah.
people. I played about 40 scenarios by myself.
40?
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
Yeah.
So you've opened up some of the extra content, envelopes and things like that?
Oh.
Yeah, but we've resealed it all because we're doing a new playthrough of it. I've been rolling on.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
What character did you play as from at the start?
The first time I played, I was the Crag Hart. So
Oh, yeah. That's my
think-
one. That's one I like.
yeah, now I'm the Tinkerer.
Oh no, I
after
was I was the brute.
Yeah,
for
the Brute's
the
good.
for the start, which was good fun, and then like because you get like the secret card, or not the secret card, just your retirement goal.
Yeah.
And the icon for mine is like this tentacle face Cthulhu looking thing, and I super want to like beat my retire my guy just to get that because that'll be really cool.
You can just start again.
Yeah.
Well, look, we're going to start running out of time soon, so I just want to go through the last couple of points from Matt Jacket. Matt Jacket,
Still,
oh my
and then there's page 2.
Oh no, I forgot about page. Well, we might.
Do you want me to take over the end of Matt Jacket's questions?
No, I'm all right now. I'm just going to paraphrase, so please forgive me. So he's excited about Throw Burrito. It looks amazing.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
No, I think I saw it pop up on Kickstarter.
It's a bit like, Exploding Kittens type stuff.
Okay.
Right? And but there's like dual cards that come up, and then you've got to grab these foam burritos, and you can throw them, you hit each other in the head, you can run around the room.
Nice.
There's expansions with all sorts of stuff. Big blow up inflatable burritos.
Well, having you said, oh, we don't need to listen to you about the worst game you've ever played.
Yep.
Having you say Exploding Kittens has made me go, oh yeah, I have played a bad game.
There you go.
I'm not a fan of Exploding Kittens.
No, you've got Krebs is better.
Okay, I've what's some other ones? I can't remember if I've played Unstable Unicorns or not. I know I've played. There's one called Organ Attack, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Exploding Kittens is not my jam.
Yeah, it's not mine either. It's too. Oh look, we played it in a bar, and we even bought like the expansion with the dog collar thing you got to wear. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
Bizarre. Anyway, all right. Quickly moving on because we're running out of time. I just want to look. Matt says he loves how chilled the podcast is. Oh. And the other videos. So that's great. Thanks. That's good to know that if we don't hit the mark, let us know because we're open to change.
I hope I've been chilled out enough for you, Matt Jacket, as a newcomer to the podcast. If I haven't, let me know and I'll try and relax more next time.
All right, I'm going to ask my last one. Oh, look, someone says here. Okay. No, there's one for me and two for Caleb. So one says, Greg, you're hilarious.
Well, that's very nice.
I think that's from my girlfriend. No. It's quite entertaining watching you have a go at each other. So I'll have to do that. This is our first meeting, so next time
you're playing nice this time.
I'm being polite.
Yeah.
Mind you, I know this person and I help her a lot with her own video stuff. So Ishani, thanks out. All right, you can read the last two.
I got the last two. So I got one from Mostly Majestic saying, I'm very excited about for the Kickstarter game D6 from Certifiable Studios.
D6.
Yeah, haven't heard about that one.
It sounds pretty. There it is.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's a bit more to it, but
okay, good.
Yeah. And he says, love the channel. You guys are very earnest and very easy to like. Keep up the great work, which is nice.
So that's not about you because you've just started.
Obviously. Yeah, no. I've been on a few videos. I've been on 2 videos. So
yeah, no. Look,
yeah. And then the other one is from Ian Everett saying, I have coming in the near future from Kickstarter, Brutality, Time of Legends, Joan of Arc, and Black Rose Wars.
Oh, I'm hanging out for that.
I remember looking at the cover of the box art of that and going, that looks very nice. But then for whatever reason, I didn't grasp the game. So
it might have been the $400 price tag or something.
It could have been that as well. That is also a deterrent. He says, Brutality is the one I'll be playing the most as it's a quick 2-on-2 fighting game. And he also has Hellboy Due, which is looking to be one of the most beautiful games I've backed.
Yeah.
So you've got another Hellboy fan there.
Oh, I want to see all those things painted and displayed, and then I will send you mine and you can paint them as well.
Yeah. And again, so they were the user comments from the question of the week last week. This week's one is what was it? What's the worst game you've played?
Yep.
And
why?
Yeah. And why?
And we're not here to attack game companies or designers. It might just be something that you were forced to play as a child, like Candyland. You have to go and play Candyland, or with your niece or something. Just let us know.
Now, as a newcomer to the podcast, I don't know. Do we answer these questions at all, or do you answer them next week with the user?
We'll save some of that up.
Okay.
Because we like to see what other people say, and
Okay.
we don't have to give away too much.
Okay, all right.
We like that bit of mystery about ours.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So don't forget our subscribe if you like this video. Hit us up on @TTK Team on Twitter. Our Facebook page is still fairly new and burgeoning, but we're going to ramp that up soon. The website, all the content. Get on board with all the merch. Look at this baseball shirt. It's awesome. We've got some hats. We've got other bits and pieces. That sale's on from this video for a week.
Yeah, about 5-6 days. Also, just quickly, I don't want to sound like a big YouTuber, but smash like on this video.
Comment, and subscribe, guys.
If we hit 10,000 likes,
right, then what?
We'll do 2 tours of Greg's room.
Great. Yeah, we'll include the kitchen.
No, we need to. That's where if you get that many, that's where you get the VR tour, so people can watch it on their phones like they're looking around.
And they can actually play in the house with me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Works. Cool. So, look, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Caleb, for being part of this group now.
No problem.
I know you've
Thanks
done
for
some of the
having
other
me
video
on.
games. Now, looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing some games with you.
Oh, I'm dice throwing. I'm still season 1, but hey, we'll get there. So, cheers for now, folks. Keep watching, keep smiling. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you later.